Excellent. Okay, we're recording. So if you'll say your name, I'll say my name, and we'll get the show on the road. And I'm Josh Reed. I'm the critical friend, and we're going to talk about what she did with her student as far as conferencing and SMART goals are concerned. And let's start talking about SMART goals. What have you learned about them? What do you think about them? Be as brief or as long as you want to here. Now that's excellent. I want to talk about how you rolled it out because in your writing below the chart, you said you took a day to explain SMART goals. Is that correct? Was it just one day? Okay. Right. So, my first thing I want to say is I like the way you handled your student. I like how you gave her suggestions. I did think that the video was a little bit long, but we had that discussion already. There are ways to streamline it that I'm gonna try and pitch you and see what you think. And I also want to start by saying you rolled it out the first day. You rolled it out that one day, right? And then you tried to coach them a little bit at a time. Did you pull them like small groups, or did you just do one at a time when you were trying to coach them through it? Okay, okay, see, that's one way you could streamline it. You could do it if you wanted by sped groups. You could do sped groups. You could do kids who are on the bubble. You could do kids who are doing well. And you might even consider those kids that you know are higher performing and probably don't need you to, you know, talk them through it. Maybe don't talk them through it. And then when you do sit down to conference with them, you can kind of coach them then and do any correcting that you need to do with them right there because it probably won't be too much for the higher. So I wouldn't do every student. I would do, like I said, sped kids. I would do kids on the bubble, kids that you know need the help. Um, which is going to be tricky because this is the kind of thing that should probably be rolled out at the first of the year. And I realize that you're doing it like we are going into the end, and it's not easy. So I do want to take a second and commend you for even attempting to do that right now, because it's crazy. Next year it'll be easier because you'll be like, okay, first week, second week of school, you can be like, okay, this is what I want. You might even be able to give them a day for them to just think to themselves, what do I want this to be? What do I personally want this to look like? And that's a huge thing. If you can teach them to, okay, I'm giving you, you said these are middle schoolers. How do they do with time limits? No, I'm just in general. Like, do you have them horrible? Okay. All right, all right. So if you could, okay. So are they good with tests? Like, are they generally good where they sit there and they do what they're supposed to do in a testing situation? Are they quiet? So, so, oh yeah, well, that follows them all the way through high school. But here's what I would suggest. Maybe uh, set a time limit of 20 minutes. Say it's a test, and say, okay, the kids that finish it obviously kind of know what they're supposed to be doing. And the ones that don't finish it are the ones you absolutely need to talk to and coach them through it. But again, it could be in small groups. That way, you're not spending a lot of time on just one student. And that takes away from you maybe, walking around the room and helping students as you need to help them. So think about that. The other thing I saw that I thought might be helpful, you had mentioned that you had a problem with data. Okay, so what I would suggest, instead of giving them an all-out giant goal, because I know that when the kids sit down, they're sitting there going, a goal? I don't even, whoa, just anything? I would give them the objective, like a list of objectives that you're trying to nail, okay? And I would have them say, okay, what objectives do you know that you can do well, and which ones are you going to need more help with? And then the ones that they need more help with, that's when you start talking about, okay, how can I help you? What do you need to do to accomplish the goal of completing this objective? And that might be the kind of thing where you give them the objective sheet and you say, these are all the things that we're going to do this. How do you operate? 6 weeks, quarters, 9 weeks, 6 weeks? Okay. These are all the things we're going to do in the 2 week, let's say in a 2 week period. This is what we're covering. Maybe go over what all of these things are, and then have them sit down and go, okay, I want you to put a check next to the things that you know that you can do. And then tell me the things that you're going to need help on, and how can I help you get there? Does that make sense at all? Am I babbling too much? Okay. Okay. Oh, all right. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm learning something new. That is interesting. I was not aware of that. And that would be a problem. That that would be a challenge. Well, that would be a challenge. Okay. Here's another way you can help them come up with goals. Right. 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 We've got like 6 minutes here, so I want to make sure that I. No, that's fine. That's fine. You're doing a wonderful job. I want to also offer another idea to help streamline goals. Maybe give them some example goals, and I don't mean like examples, the difference between dream and goals. I mean like things that you would like to see them do in your class. Things that you would like to see them focus on in your class. Um, and sometimes, and don't, I don't, I was watching the video, and I saw that there was a focus on personal goals a little bit with her. Like, what do you like? Come to tutorials, be to class on time, that sort of thing. Those are important. Make sure you emphasize those because it's through the personal goals that they actually get to their SMART goal. The other thing I would say is the next time you do this, you're still going to have to hold their hand. And I would recommend maybe holding their hand a little bit less on the third time, and then the fourth time letting them go. So I would go, all right, I'm going to hold your hand one more time. Okay, this next time I'm backing off. So half of whatever you've done. And then the fourth time, it's all you. So, because the whole key here is you want to give them as much control of it as you can. And that's hard to train them to do, but you've got to let go. And that was the other thing I noticed in the video is you're offering them all of those suggestions to the girl, and really she needs to be coming up with those. You need to be laying off. Now, at the same time, I realize that you deal with middle school kids, and they are different from high school kids. High school kids, they've got a better idea of what it is they want to do, how they want to do it, you know. But you need to train them to think that way, and through that training, that really opens up. Okay, I get it. Goal. I didn't do this. If I do this, that'll help with the grade. It'll go up more. So that's something else. Also, you need to make sure that their goal has. I wrote down that there's your strength. One of your strengths I thought was how relevant you made the goal to her. You were being very specific in your suggestions, and in that way she could see how it connected, which I think that's probably pretty hard to do with social studies. Make your goal relevant. That's pretty tough. As you go further through this program, you'll eventually come to a part where it's all about inquiry-based learning, problem-based learning, and that'll open up a whole new world for you, I think, because it's all about, okay, here's a giant question, and under that question is all of your standards, and through that, you're able to set up your lesson, and everybody kind of has a role, and then everybody kind of sets goals on what they want to do within their role, and it's really interesting. I think you'll enjoy that. So make sure you stick with it. I didn't mean to turn this into a commercial. Jeez. Okay, we're winding down on time here, so I gotta hurry up and figure out what I want to say next. You did good with student BV. I noticed that she called mom to stay in tutorials one day. That's cool. Or he, whomever that was. Okay. Oh, okay, cool. And then, let's see. ZA, that sounds like a plus because there was more effort even though he had a lot of absences. That's impressive. And then, yeah, for sure. Do you celebrate the little things with them? Okay.